tell the people what is your background, and more specifically, what is some of the work you've done with autism?
Sure. 7 years ago, I retired from 40 years in public education. Always involved in special education. For 12 years, I was an elementary school principal where they, for our entire SELPA, we had a program for children with autism. My dissertation is in autism. I did a longitudinal study on using typical peers to be buddies with children with autism to see if in fact their social behavior improved. And I was a director of special education for Los Alamitos Unified School District.
I actually went there.
Did you?
Yes, I have.
Oh.
Before this. Mm-hmm.
And then, so did you graduate from Los Al? From the high school?
Los Alamitos. I went to Oak Middle School.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, well, I was director of special education there, and I retired as assistant superintendent of educational services 7 years ago, and I now work for a nonprofit organization, and we help private schools put in programs for children with special needs who.
What are some of the most important things to consider when raising a child on the spectrum and putting them through school?
Well, first of all, as a parent, probably the most difficult thing is the grieving process of discovering that your child has autism and coming to accept it. And once the acceptance is there, kids just take off and soar. And the most important thing to do is to find a research-based organization or school district that will provide appropriate therapy. I mean, that's the most important thing.
How important is it to diagnose ASD early?
The earlier the better. The earlier the intervention, the greater success rate, and it's absolutely key. And I have seen it where parents, even with a diagnosis, don't have therapy versus those that do, and the outcomes are significantly different.
What are some worries or fears that parents often have when raising a child with ASD?
That they're never going to get better. I think that that's the biggest fear. But the sooner the therapy starts, and as soon as the acceptance is there, and also that one of the greatest fears is what is going to happen when I die. If I have a child who's on the spectrum on the more severe end, you know, what's going to happen to my child when I'm no longer here?
How can technology be used to help people with ASD?
I think that technology is really untapped. Right now, most of the technology is called assistive technology, and it's just, it's really pretty superficial. I think if you can get technology that helps in data collection and feedback to the therapist, feedback to the family, so it is objective.
What can someone do to help out someone they know who has autism, or someone who's raising someone with autism? How can they help them? Help them out?
Well, the first thing that they can do is not say, I understand how you must feel. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people who are trying to be helpful, unless you have a child with autism, you cannot say, I know how you must feel. What you can do is say, you know what? I was your friend before you had a child with autism. I will continue to be your friend. I will support you in any way I possibly can. You just let me know what I can do, and you know, our kids will go out on play dates and just be a good friend. And maybe say, it's important because I don't have a child with autism. I cannot really understand what you're going through, but I'm here to help and to do anything I can.
And give them a hug.
Yeah, of course, give them a hug.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's tough.
Thank you.
It's really tough.